Welcome back, geniuses. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use ApexGenius to complete a story from Jira end to end. This means using ApexGenius to retrieve a story, read and understand the requirements, and then build and ship the components all from chat. But first, we need to get our ApexGenius integrated with Jira. So all you have to do is go to this tools bar on your chat page. Click tools, you'll see connections. There's going to be no connections in here for now. Click connect in dashboard. And then we go to integrations on dashboard. And then on integrations, we'll see that we have Jira Cloud. So it's just a one-click connect. So hit connect. If you're already logged in, it's going to prompt you to this page. If you're not logged in, you're going to have to put in your Jira credentials. So here I'm going to hit accept. I'm going to give it access to my Jira project, user, work, board, sprints, the works. Accept. And then it's going to reroute us back to the dashboard page. And just to double check to make sure it worked, go back to the integrations page and you should see Jira Cloud connected. So then we will go back to our chat page. Just ensure I'm on the right project, ApexGenius Demo 2. And I want to now connect it to my project. So the last step would be to go back to the tools bar, go to connections, and you'll see you now have a Jira Cloud. You can enable this, and then it should load some projects, and then you could select the projects that you're working with. I'm just working with ApexGenius. I'm going to hit Save Projects. And now I can just say, what story do we have to complete in Jira? It has the ability to read Jira stories. Like the agent is going off and trying to read all the stories that we have. Cool. And it's saying the next best story I got to complete is ApexGenius 28. That's one I just recently made to create a validation rule on the case. So let's do that. Can we say, okay, can you break this story down into what I have to do and what we have to build? So now I pulled it from Jira in the previous question. Now I'm just asking it to reason. Now I'm asking the agent, okay, so like, what is this story? Like, what am I supposed to do to complete this? It was just working. It's trying to read the ticket once more so it has like a better plan. And here it is. What we need to build a case validation rule that blocks users from changing case status unless product name is filled in. In plain English, if someone tries to update the case while product name is blank, Salesforce should stop this and show an error. Yep, and that is exactly what the ticket is. The ticket was to create a validation rule on the case for when a product name, if a product name is null, then do not update the status. So you need a product name in order to update the status on the case. So before building it, we should confirm one thing. Should this rule block every status change or any certain status values? We want it to block every status change. So now it knows what we want. It gave us to plan again. And we're gonna say, okay, great. Can we build this? So now it's going to say, okay, we got a build command. It's time to check out what we have, check out what objects we already have in our file system over here in our project files. This is how we can deploy metadata from Salesforce. Like when our agent builds it, it gets all saved to here. We see that we changed the case object code to have this validation rule. And all we have to say now is deploy this to the org. So we're now deploying it to the org. So I'll call the deploy tool is checking the deployment status. We also get a manual deployment status checker here that we can also press. And boom, we see that the validation rule was in fact deployed. So let's go check out the org. All right, so now that we're in the org, I went to Object Manager and went to the case, and now I'm looking at the validation rules, and boom, ApexGenius support has created the required product name when status changes validation rule. Let's click that and look at it. The error condition, yep, if status is not changed and if the product name is blank. So we can also test this out. We can go to case. So I'm now on a case record, and let's try to update the status. So going to update the status, I'm gonna put it back to working, and let's save, let's see what happens. I hit a snag. The product name is required before changing the case status. So product name is a formula field that gets the name from the product. So you have to create a product, or I already have a product called SLA Concierge. I'm gonna use that. So now when I save, it will no longer throw the validation rule and successfully save. So now we can go back to ApexGenius. Since we just tested this, we can say, okay, I just tested the story in Salesforce and it worked. Can we move the story to review in Jira? So now we completed the story with ApexGenius, and we can also use ApexGenius to transition the story into review. So it says just move the story into review. If we check over our sprint board here, we see that it was just moved to review. So there you have it. That's how you can use ApexGenius and Jira to knock out tickets all from one chat.